Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is the relationship between Steffy and Finn at a crossroads and their marriage in jeopardy? According to spoilers and updates for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester and John Finn Finnegan have overcome numerous obstacles to arrive at their current position in life. Despite the difficulties they have faced, Finn and Steffy have persisted and developed a strong bond that appears destined to last, at least for the time being. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, new issues are always on the verge of emerging. In soap operas, there are always new obstacles waiting around the corner. For the sake of drama, couples are often put through hardships, so Steffy and Finn shouldn't become too comfortable in their happy life. Bradley Bell, the head writer and executive producer of B&B, gave some fascinating clues regarding the couple's future in a recent interview with TV Insider. In 2025, a brand new challenge is anticipated to surface, one that will surely rock the foundations of Steffy and Finn's marriage. Bell warned that Steffy and Finn's love would be put to the test when they faced a new obstacle. What comes next in B&B spoilers? Although they have already encountered many difficulties, their relationship is still strong, and it is unclear if they will be able to withstand the upcoming turmoil. We can only hypothesize and make educated assumptions about what will happen because Bell hasn't disclosed the circumstances of this impending trial. B&B fans are definitely excited to see how Finn and Steffy handle the challenges that lie ahead. As part of her plan to take back control of Forrester, Steffy will obviously enlist the assistance of a perfumer named Daphne Rose. As a saboteur, Daphne will try to weaken Carter's position of power and get the business back in the Forresters' control. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, would Finn Finnegan disapprove of Steffy Forrester's cunning moves? Finn might voice his concerns if Steffy takes her plan too far. For example, Finn would vehemently object to such dishonesty, straddling the boundary between work and personal matters, if Steffy plans a plot in which Daphne seduces Carter, endangering his relationship with Hope Logan. But this dispute might also be connected to a completely different story. Sheila Sharp could cause even another upheaval. Or maybe this has something to do with the catastrophe that is about to happen with Luna Nozawa. Steffy will be incensed with Bill Spencer for obtaining Luna's release from prison just to place her under home arrest after his secret is exposed. Three compelling stories, each bearing the weight of personal stakes and professional aspirations, collided at Forrester Creations, creating a tense and ambitious atmosphere. Steffy Forrester, the unwavering force committed to preserving her family's legacy, was at the center of it all, along with mysterious newcomer Daphne Chambers and lively Fanny Delgado, whose aspirations to make her budding perfume line a worldwide sensation added layers of complexity to the drama that was developing. The way the lives of these three women interacted and the difficulties they faced would pave the way for profound changes in The Bold and the Beautiful universe. Prodigy Daphne Chambers, who had a talent for shaking things up and an eye for contemporary design, came into Forrester Creations like a tornado. Her presence was divisive despite her apparent talent, especially for Steffy, who couldn't ignore the nuanced ways Daphne questioned the status quo. Ridge Forrester had planned Daphne's coming because he saw an opportunity to advance Forrester Creations. However, Steffy saw the choice as a risk that might either improve the business or upset its fragile balance. Gaining the trust of a family that fiercely defended its legacy was Daphne's struggle, not only establishing her value in a renowned fashion firm. From the beginning, Daphne's daring design ideas ran counter to Forrester Creations' classic elegance. Younger audiences enjoyed her edgy, street-inspired creations, but Brooke Logan and Eric Forrester, two of the company's more seasoned designers, were taken aback. Steffy and Daphne couldn't agree on whether to embrace innovation or preserve the company's history. Each boardroom meeting became increasingly heated as their conflicts continued to spill over. Explosive arguments resulted from Steffy's burning resolve to defend her family's brand and Daphne's confidence that verged on arrogance. However, behind the surface, the two women shared an implicit respect for one another, each seeing in the other a strong opponent and possible ally. Fanny Delgado was about to make a breakthrough that would completely change her career, while Daphne struggled to find her position. Fanny, a long-standing employee of Forrester Compositions, had discreetly established a stellar reputation as a masterful scent developer, with her compositions frequently acting as the last touch for the brand's most recognizable collections. Fanny's dreams had grown, though. She wanted to start her own perfume brand that would be named after her and showcase her distinct style. Convincing the Forrester board to support her vision was the difficult part. Fanny put her all into her presentation, which was the one that would determine her destiny. When Fanny presented her idea to the crowded boardroom, it was a novel approach to fragrance that fused cutting-edge science with sustainability. She clarified that her line would generate customized fragrances for each customer using materials sourced responsibly and state-of-the-art artificial intelligence technologies. A mixture of curiosity and cynicism greeted the pitch. Always one to challenge audacious plans, Brooke Logan expressed doubts about the project's viability, while Eric Forrester praised Fanny's inventiveness. But Steffi noticed something more. Her own dedication to sustainability and creativity was in line with Fanny's vision, and she saw a chance to bolster Forrester Creations' reputation by lending assistance to Fanny's business. Steffi expressed her support behind Fanny, promising to fight for the project's approval despite the risks. This choice strengthened the two women's relationship and established a partnership based on respect and ambition. While Fanny and Daphne were pursuing their goals, Steffi was fighting her own war. Steffi's power as co-CEO of Forrester Creations was in danger of being compromised due to the divisions inside the company, which were made worse by Brooke and Hope Logan's schemes. The relationships inside the firm had changed due to Brooke's increased influence over Ridge, and Steffi was placed on the defensive by Hope's more assertive attempts to control her line. Steffi was forced to balance the obligations of her professional life with the pressing need to safeguard her children as Sheila Carter's most recent plan targeted her family. Steffi made a daring move to reclaim her power as the first step in her battle back. She started a thorough investigation into the business's operations and found financial irregularities that suggested Brooke and Hope had mishandled their resources. Equipped with this knowledge, Steffi went up to Ridge and demanded responsibility and a return to the values that had founded Forrester Creations. Ridge was forced to choose between his devotion to Brooke and his daughter's unwavering commitment. Steffi presented her findings at a contentious board meeting, her voice unflinching as she exposed the company's problems. As she finished, the room fell silent, her resolve slicing like a razor through the tension. Daphne found herself rethinking her original strategy after seeing Steffi's determination. Even though Daphne had arrived at Forrester Creations with a grudge and a desire to prove herself, she soon realized the importance of teamwork and Steffi's leadership abilities. She came to Steffi with an unexpected idea, a collaboration that merged Steffi's commitment to sustainability with Daphne's creative designs. With the proposition, their relationship changed from one of rivals to one of partners bound by a common objective. When Fanny received an offer from a competitor that promised her complete creative power and significant financial support, her destiny took an unexpected turn. Fanny was tempted by the offer, but she couldn't decide. She had developed as an artist and discovered her voice at Forrester Creations, which had been her home. She would be betraying everyone who had helped her, especially Steffi, if she left. Fanny opened up to Steffi and explained her predicament. Given the significance of loyalty and the worth of Fanny's efforts, Steffi sincerely begged her to stay, vowing to stand up for the funding and independence Fanny required to realize her dream. The three women's tales started to unexpectedly converge as they overcame their individual obstacles. Fanny's fragrance campaign was centered around Daphne's designs, resulting in a synergy that attracted the fashion industry's attention. Despite Brooke and Hope's attempts to discredit her, Steffi's steadfast support for both women solidified her position as a unifying force at Forrester Creations. Their adventures culminated when Forrester Creations debuted its most recent collection at a high-stakes fashion show. Daphne's daring designs, Fanny's groundbreaking scents, and Steffi's forward-thinking vision were all on display at the event, which was a celebration of creativity and innovation. Critics were silenced by the show's overwhelming success, which also solidified Forrester Creations' standing as a fashion industry leader. However, the victory wasn't without its difficulties. The loss of influence hurt Brooke, so she decided to get back together and find new ways to make her presence known. Encouraged by her mother's tenacity, Hope started planning her next course of action, laying the groundwork for future disputes. Ever the opportunist, Sheila waited for the ideal opportunity to strike by hiding in the shadows. Following the fashion exhibition, Steffi, Daphne, and Fanny thought back on their struggles and the relationships they had developed. They had each established their positions in a world characterized by ambition, treachery, and the unrelenting quest of achievement, despite the fact that their travels were far from over. Collectively, they embodied Forrester Creations' future, one based on creativity, teamwork, and the unflinching will to stand up for what they believed in. Viewers were left feeling excited for what was to come as the credits rolled on this episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. The drama and intrigue that characterized Steffy, Daphne, and Fanny's lives would continue to be as intriguing as ever as the struggles they faced and the triumphs they achieved. The stakes were higher than ever before, even though Steffy Forrester had fought many battles in her life. Her world, which had been meticulously constructed on the foundation of ambition, family, and an unwavering determination to preserve the Forrester legacy, was under attack from all directions. Personal attacks on her family, betrayal in her closest circle, and difficulties at Forrester Creations produced a tempest that threatened to destroy all she valued. But if there was one quality about Steffy that everyone overlooked, it was her fortitude. She had dedicated her entire life to studying how to deal with the chaos of the Forrester world, perfecting the skill of retaliating with dignity and determination. Steffy found herself in the middle of a tornado at the start of 2025, determined to not only make it through but to come out stronger than before. Steffy's authority as co-CEO was initially threatened by Brooke Logan and Hope Spencer, who had gradually grown their power at Forrester Creations. Encouraged by her friendship with Ridge and her established position within the Forrester family, Brooke started advancing her personal goals while claiming to be defending the company's interests. Following in her mother's footsteps, Hope attempted to grow her line at the expense of others, stealing resources and reducing the contributions of the Thomas and Steffy divisions. Steffy's determination to take a firmer stance was strengthened when her early attempts to discuss the matter diplomatically were met with evasion and disdain. Personal betrayals added to the professional struggle. The constant threat of turmoil in Steffy's life, Sheila Carter reappeared with a plan that put Steffy's family in danger. Steffy had to face Sheila's manipulations once more after fighting so hard to establish a secure life with Finn and their kids. Sheila tried to portray herself as changed, but Steffy was aware of this. She was able to see through Sheila's deceptions and manipulations, but it would take careful preparation and calculated partnerships to expose her. The once unshakable foundation of their marriage started to erode at the same time that tensions with Finn started to arise as he battled the pull of his biological mother's presence in their lives. To make matters worse, Steffy had to deal with problems in her own family. Ever the wild card, Thomas Forrester vacillated between helping his sister and pursuing his own goals, frequently in ways that made it more difficult for her to keep things stable. Ridge, their father, was unable to provide for his daughter completely because he was caught between Brooke's influence and Steffy's expectations for accountability. Steffy's resolve to fight back and regain her authority was only strengthened by the frustration of feeling alone in her own family. A comprehensive examination of Forrester Creations' operations served as the foundation for Steffy's strategy. With the assistance of dependable supporters like Paris Buckingham and Carter Walton, Steffy discovered a series of dubious choices that clearly demonstrated Brooke and Hope's misappropriation of business funds. This evidence served as the cornerstone of her plan, giving her the leverage she required to engage the Logans in an unavoidable confrontation. Steffy convened a board meeting and, with a composed yet authoritative demeanor, she presented her results, causing the audience to go silent. As she explained the financial disparities and how they would affect the company's future, it became evident that Steffy was defending the Forrester name as much as her own position. The altercation was explosive. Unwilling to take responsibility, Brooke claimed Steffy had orchestrated the issue to discredit her and Hope. Defensive and more desperate than ever, Hope attempted to place the blame on Thomas, rekindling past grievances and charges. Steffy, however, was ready for their strategy and refused to back down. "This isn't about personal grudges or family rivalries," she said in a loud, determined voice that broke through the clamor. "This has to do with Forrester Creations' future and the heritage that we all say we care about." She made a crucial statement in her struggle to regain control when she said, "If you can't see that, then maybe you don't belong here." Steffy focused on the personal dangers that threatened to overtake her life, while the professional struggle continued. Sheila's most recent plan was to cause friction between Steffy and Finn by taking advantage of his residual skepticism over their capacity to defend their family from outside dangers. Steffy made the decision to act proactively after realizing the risk. she sought the assistance of Taylor Hayes, whose psychological background and close familiarity with Sheila yielded insightful information. They collaborated to discover Sheila's schemes and get information that would ultimately result in her permanent incarceration. Simultaneously, Steffy worked hard to win back Finn's trust by highlighting their shared dedication to their kids and future. A heated altercation at the Cliff House was the turning point in Steffy's battle with Sheila. Desperate and cornered, Sheila tried to convince Finn that Steffy was the real enemy in their continuing story. But with the help of her family and supporting proof, Steffy destroyed Sheila's claims one by one. Sheila's reign of terror came to an end, for the time being, at least, when law authorities arrived to arrest her in a dramatic standoff. Despite the satisfaction that came from the hard-won win, Steffy was aware that Sheila's shadow would always hang over her family. Following the altercation, Steffy turned her attention to mending and fortifying her relationships. She made an effort to patch things up with Finn, admitting that their marriage had suffered during the previous several months and promising to go on as a couple. In an effort to mend their relationship, she also urged Ridge to stand up for the family more strongly against outside threats. Ridge rekindled their shared dedication to the Forrester legacy after realizing the soundness of Steffy's strategy, even if their relationship was still strained by his connections to Brooke. Steffy focused on the future as her personal and professional struggles started to come to an end. She suggested a daring new project to revitalize the company's brand since she saw that Forrester Creations needed to be more innovative and cohesive. The younger Forresters and Logans collaborated on the proposal, which placed a strong emphasis on modern design, sustainability, and diversity. Although some people were skeptical of the proposal, Steffy's vision and zeal won over important allies, ushering in a new era at Forrester Creations. In many respects, Steffy's struggle was about reinventing what it meant to be a Forrester in a world that was changing all the time, not just about conquering short-term obstacles. Over the past year, she had experienced heartbreak and resiliency, losses and victories, but she had come out stronger and more determined than before. Steffy was a force to be reckoned with and a ray of hope for the future of Forrester Creations because of her ability to manage the complexity of her world while striking a balance between her personal ambition and her family's allegiance. At the head of her family's business, Steffy Forrester was prepared to take on any obstacles that could arise as the 2025 fights came to an end. Although her battle had been difficult, it had also changed her, making her a leader who could not only weather the storms but also prosper when they passed. For Steffy, retaliating wasn't just about surviving, it was also about making sure that the heritage she had worked so hard to preserve would live on for future generations. 3 significant events in Forrester Creations history came together in a conference room that was teeming with tension and excitement. Co-CEO and steadfast protector of her family's history, Steffy Forrester had convened a high-stakes meeting to present her most recent plan for guiding the business through its most trying periods. She was seated next to 2 people whose contributions to Forrester's future could not be overstated: Fanny Delgado, the company's fragrance mastermind, whose ambitious new perfume pitch promised to redefine the brand's identity, and Daphne Chambers, a bold and brilliant designer whose debut collection had everyone talking. Their combined tales created a tapestry of aspiration, ingenuity, and fortitude that demonstrated the strength of teamwork in the face of difficulty. Steffy had to come up with a solution. From Sheila Carter's plans that attacked Steffy's family to Brooke Logan and Hope Spencer's constant scheming within the corporation, the past few months had been difficult. With its established identity at odds with the demands of a fashion industry that was changing quickly, the company itself found itself at a crossroads. As co-CEO, Steffy was aware that Forrester Creations' capacity to innovate without compromising the core qualities that had made company a household name was essential to its continued existence. Her response was audacious, a comprehensive program named New Horizons that aimed to promote inclusion and sustainability while fusing contemporary styles with Forrester's classic beauty. Critics of the proposal included Hope, who was concerned that it would overshadow her own brand, and Brooke, who saw it as a break from the company's history. Steffy, however, was unfazed. Gathering information, meeting with specialists, and enlisting allies like Carter Walton and Zend Forrester Dominguez, she had painstakingly prepared for this moment. With a vision that was both appealing and realistic, her presentation was a master class in leadership. Utilizing Forrester Creations' most valuable resource, its employees, was at the core of the concept. A new generation of talent, beginning with Daphne Chambers, was to be empowered as part of Steffy's answer. Daphne had a reputation for being bold when she joined Forrester Creations. She was a rising star in the design industry, distinguished for her bold, avant-garde aesthetic that contrasted sharply with Forrester's classic elegance. Within the company, there was intense discussion about her inaugural collection, which combined streetwear and haute couture. Some, including Eric Forrester, questioned whether it fit with Forrester's brand, while others applauded its uniqueness and relevancy. The stakes were enormous for Daphne. She was asserting her status as a visionary who could lead Forrester into the future, not merely showcasing her designs. Daphne's debut was a statement rather than merely a fashion show. Models walked the catwalk wearing ensembles that combined startling silhouettes, unusual fabrics, and vivid designs. The Urban Renaissance collection, which was intended to appeal to a younger, more diversified audience, was a celebration of individuality and self-expression. It was an electrifying response. Influencers and fashion journalists alike praised Daphne on social media, calling her a game-changer. The applause was not universal, though. Brooke expressed her concerns, claiming that the collection was too dangerous and could turn off Forrester's devoted customer base. But Steffy noticed something odd. She made it apparent that she was solidly in Daphne's corner and saw the opportunity in her work to reinvigorate the brand and reach unexplored areas. Fanny Delgado was ready to make her own splash into the spotlight as Daphne's star soared. Longtime Forrester Compositions partner Fanny had established a reputation as a talented scent developer, with her compositions frequently acting as the final touch for the brand's most recognizable collections. However, Fanny had a dream that went beyond her present position. She dreamed of starting her own perfume line that would showcase her own artistic style and establish new benchmarks for the sector. However, her pitch was a risk. Not everyone agreed that it was a smart investment, and she required the board's support as well as the funds to realize her idea. In addition to being a proposition, Fanny's perfume pitch was also a performance. With a combination of passion and accuracy, she presented her idea for a range of fragrances that would fuse sustainability with innovative customization. She clarified that each fragrance would be made with materials that are sourced responsibly and AI technology to produce custom scents for each customer. Although the concept was groundbreaking, there were serious concerns involved, especially with regard to implementation and expense. As expected, Brooke voiced doubt, wondering if the market was prepared for a product of this kind. Ever the pragmatic, Eric expressed worries about the financial ramifications. Steffy was the one who made the difference for Fanny. Steffy contended that the perfume line might be a pillar of Forrester's rebranding initiatives, acknowledging the alignment between Fanny's idea and her own New Horizons project. She emphasized the possibility that Fanny's collection may draw in a new clientele and the rising desire for sustainable luxury. Her support marked a sea change, and the board ultimately decided to approve Fanny's initiative after much discussion. The triumph demonstrated Fanny's tenacity and Steffy's capacity to support innovation while adhering to Forrester's principles. The culmination of these three tales, Steffy's solution, Daphne's debut, and Fanny's perfume pitch, was a historic occasion, a combined display that united fashion and fragrance in an honoring of ingenuity and teamwork. The spectacular event, which took place at Forrester's flagship showroom, drew media from all over the world along with celebrities and business executives. The focal point was Daphne's Urban Renaissance collection, which included models wearing Fanny's scents, each of which was created to go well with the clothes look. Attendees were in awe at the immersive experience created by the two pieces working in perfect harmony. For Steffy, the showcase was a personal validation as well as a business victory. Her detractors were silenced by the event's success, which demonstrated that her idea for Forrester Creations was not only feasible but also necessary. Although still cautious, Brooke reluctantly accepted Steffy's leadership, and Ridge showed fresh respect for his daughter's aptitude for handling the company's challenges. Even Eric, who had been outspoken in his early misgivings about Daphne and Fanny, acknowledged that their contributions marked a daring new era for the business. The industry was affected by the display in the weeks that followed. Daphne's status as a rising star was cemented when orders for her collection flooded in. Pre-orders for Fanny's perfume line were more than anticipated, and the fragrance created excitement even before its formal introduction. The achievement was a watershed in Steffy's leadership development. She demonstrated that innovation and tradition could coexist by not merely defending but also redefining the Forrester legacy. However, there were obstacles in the way. Despite being temporarily quiet, Brooke and Hope were not going to give up on their goals. Steffy's personal life was shadowed by Sheila Carter, who continued to pose a threat. Additionally, the relationship between the younger and older generations would continue to change inside the organization, opening up possibilities for both cooperation and conflict. Steffy stayed firm through it all. Her solution reflected her development as a leader and a person in addition to being a business plan. She had learned to take chances without sacrificing her values, to embrace change without losing sight of her roots, and to stand up for her beliefs even when the odds were stacked against her. Steffy realized that while she would continue to face obstacles in the future, she would also have the chance to mold the Forrester Creations universe and her own life as she saw fit.